Welcome to another video where we are talking about friction points, parts of your personality that cause friction, that don't allow you to be as successful as you can be in the world, and specifically in the world of dating and attraction. So on today's video, we're going to be discussing the friction point of procrastination. And boy, is this a good one. And I'm going to try to help you remove this, give you some really good tips and things that you can do to not have this be a part of your life anymore. Now, what is procrastination? You probably already know, and you probably have done it. Maybe you do it a lot. I'm guilty as well. It's definitely a part of a lot of people's lives. They become lazy or they become fearful, so they don't do the thing that they need to do. They procrastinate, right? They're procrastinating on something. That means that they have something that needs to be done, and for whatever reason, they don't do it. I'm under the impression, and I've analyzed this a lot, that procrastination is something that happens due to fear. I think that 90% of the reason why people procrastinate is because they're scared. Well, what are they scared of? They're scared of messing up. They're scared of failing. Why do you think that procrastination happens a lot when you're in school, when you were younger? Well, yeah, a little bit part of it is like when you just don't like doing it, but you usually don't like doing something when you're not that good at it. So for example, when you were younger, did you have a class that you were really good at? Maybe it was math or geography or science. And you didn't procrastinate on that. Why? Well, you knew you were good at it, so it was a little bit more interesting because you knew that you were going to get a good grade on whatever was happening, and you got it. Like, it made sense to you. But then there was that topic, that subject in school that you just were not good at. You know, maybe it was reading, maybe it was math, whatever it was. You knew you weren't that good at it, so what did you do? You put it off, you procrastinated because you were really deep down scared of failing. No one wants to fail. No one wants to go through anything where it's difficult for them, right? Difficulty brings up a lot of emotions, brings up a lot of emotions that just don't feel good. Like when you're doing something that's difficult. I don't mean challenging. Sometimes challenging is fun. You know, sometimes you're doing something like maybe you're trying to shoot a basketball. Like, yeah, it's challenging, but it's still fun, right? But I'm talking about things that are like difficult, that are really tough for you. So one thing that a lot of people procrastinate on in the world of dating is going out and doing approaches, is not implementing the stuff that they need to implement, using techniques and strategies, ones that you see on this video and other videos, to get results. They just don't do it. And a lot of people won't even watch this video. You're watching this right now, congratulations, but they won't even get to that point because they know, this is tough. This is hard, and if I watch the video, it's going to bring up all of these emotions that we just don't want to deal with as humans. We want things to be easy and just fun and interesting all the time. Unfortunately, sorry, welcome to reality. That's just not the way that life works. Stuff is hard. Things are hard. Rejection sucks. Going out multiple nights a week to talk to girls is hard. Spending your time watching videos like this and taking a lot of notes takes up time. Maybe it's not that interesting all the time, depending. Or maybe it is interesting, you're loving the videos, but then you're like, oh, eventually I gotta actually put this stuff in practice. And it's hard. Again, humans, at least right now, we just like to be comfortable, and it's so easy to be comfortable. It's easy now to just sit on your couch and do nothing. You can use your phone to just order anything you want to your door, do anything you want. It's easy to be lazy. Things have gotten easier. We've made technology that make things easier. So it's not really in us innately to be able to do things that are challenging or hard or difficult all the time. So once we have that in our life, we're like, whoa, we don't want to go near that. So it makes sense. And that's where procrastination comes in. I have a technique for you that is going to help with procrastination. Before I get into that technique, I want you to really understand still where procrastination comes from, because that also helps. So I already went over that. So now you know that a lot of procrastination comes from fear. That awareness actually helps. It does help, because then you know what's going on. And sometimes you can overcome that. So for example, let's say that there's a night you want to go out and you want to talk to girls, and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'll do it on Saturday. Saturday rolls around and you're like, yeah, I'd just rather hang out with my friends and just kind of do nothing. Sunday rolls around. And then you become aware, I'm procrastinating, right? I'm procrastinating, I'm putting it off. And now that you're watching this video, you can become aware of, wait a minute, I'm putting this off because it's hard, because I'm scared. But you know, the reality is nothing is really that hard. Nothing is really that hard, especially in this realm. To go out and talk to girls, it's mentally difficult, but the actual act of it isn't so difficult. So we can sit here, we can say, okay, I'm procrastinating. Why? It's because I'm scared. Why am I scared? Well, I'm scared of rejection. So now we can deal with that. Now it's no longer about procrastination. It's about dealing with the idea of, okay, it's scary. So then what do? How do I make this so it's easier for myself? Well, one way to make procrastination go away is to do things in baby steps. Baby steps. That helps, right? Doing one little thing at a time. So that's a system that you can use. You break down things really small. So you say, okay, I'm going to go out tomorrow night. I'm going to make it a thing. I'm actually going to do it, but I'm going to do it, and I'm only going to do a couple of approaches. Now it's not as scary anymore. Still, maybe a little frightening, but not as scary. Why? Because you only have a little bit of a task to do. Just like, let's say you had a big 10-page paper that you had to write for school, right? Very overwhelming, very scary. Whoa, 10 pages, that's a lot. I can't do it. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna get a bad grade. It's not gonna work out. So what do? Well, instead of trying to sit down and just write the paper one day, it's okay, well, it's due in a month. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna write half a page. No, not so bad. It's half a page that's scary? Not really anymore. Could be kind of hard, maybe a little challenging, but not so hard anymore. So let's take this idea of breaking things down into baby steps and then doing it. Now let me give you the technique I was talking about. This is not a technique I came up with. It's something I learned from an audio book called Mini Habits. And it talks about the idea of how difficult it is to start something, but once you start, it becomes less and less difficult. So for example, let's say that you want to go to the gym. Okay, this is a big task, right? It's like we got to get in our cars, get an Uber, whatever, go to the gym, and it's a big deal. But once you're there, right? You ever go to the gym and it's like, finally I took all the time and I got here, but you're there now, and you're just you do it, and then you leave and you're like, that wasn't so bad. Right? Same thing could happen when you go out. And you go out, you're like, okay, I got to talk to 5 girls. And then you do it, you get it over with, and you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. So the hardest part is just starting, getting to the gym, going to the area where you need to approach the girls. Okay, so we need to get you to focus on overcoming the beginning, the very, very beginning part. So one thing that the author in Mini Habits talks about, I forgot his name, unfortunately, but he talks about the one push-up method. He says if you're going to procrastinate and not go to the gym, well, the hardest part is starting. So what you need to do is do one push-up. Just get on the floor and do one push-up. Easy, right? To get on the floor and do one push-up is very, very easy. So it's about making that initial step as easy as possible, because once you're past the initial step, then you flow into the rest of it. Once you do one push-up, you'll probably do more. You're already down there on the ground. It's not that difficult. You'll do a couple more push-ups. Now you've done 5 push-ups. That felt pretty good. You've accomplished something, and that reward feels good. So now, well, maybe you'll do some squats, some air squats. Now you're feeling good. You know what? You feel good. Boom. Let me get the keys. Let me get in the car. Let me go to the gym, right? So it's about just getting past that first step. So if you're working on an assignment, if you're working on trying to get better at this stuff, maybe it's just forcing yourself to just sit down and start watching these videos and start getting through the videos. And it's about assigning yourself days throughout the week to go out and practice. Going out and practice and talking to girls. And it's nice to make a little ritual of it, you know? Maybe there's a little bit of a ritual. Maybe once you get home, you do one push-up every single day. And that leads into you finally going and working out. Or maybe it takes you going and getting some good food, some delicious food right before you go out and talk to girls, right? It's a little ritual. Go out, you get some nice food for yourself, something that you like, pop in some gum, and then boom, you're already out and you go and you start talking to girls. So how can you break things down into baby steps, and how can you get over that first initial step? This is gonna help you with procrastination. And we're gonna remove this completely from your personality and allow this to be more frictionless and easy for you so you can get results in your life.